Well, to me, it probably feels like a long journey, but I had experience in the past working with kids in the child welfare system and just found that once I kind of graduated from that realm of work, that I still really enjoy working with kids. And it has always kind of been a goal to become a therapist. My mom and sister are therapists, so it's kind of become a family business where we're all following that path. And really just that passion and desire to continue wanting to work with kids. I would say at my time with Alliance, the youth that I've really enjoyed working with and really found that or become passionate about is the clients that might be struggling with being overwhelmed by worries, that they just can't seem to shut those worries off. It might look like school anxiety, social anxiety, maybe even some perfectionistic qualities or the fear of making mistakes, maybe big emotion reactions or avoidant behaviors or that constant what if feeling. I would say if it can kind of anxiety can manifest and present in many ways. Oftentimes, I think parents have the misconception that it might present in just a panic attack, but the reality of it is anxiety doesn't always show up in panic attacks. It can show up as irritability, shutting down, anger, stomach aches, headaches, trouble sleeping, avoidant behaviors, or even just the child saying, I'm fine, when clearly they're not. So I would tell the parents, if you're noticing a pattern with those types of behaviors, that would be a good time to look at exploring some therapeutic intervention. So obviously, I want to make sure that that therapeutic environment isn't just them attending sessions to gain those skills, but it's what they're going to carry outside the home, because the reality of it is anxiety affects the entire family. And the initial part of treatment would be really bringing the parents in and helping them gain an understanding of their child's anxiety and how that's manifested and how they're affected by it. And then working with the parents as well, whether it's scheduling separate parent sessions, I've done that, or, taking the last few minutes of each session to review things with parents and letting them know what skill we're working on in the session so they can practice that and implement that in the home as well as giving parents the coping mechanisms to kind of reduce that power struggle at home that sometimes can manifest if a child's acting out because of the anxiety. And then there's that parent power struggle and how they should, work with that. Absolutely. And there's a lot of self-blame when in reality, there could be multiple components. And sometimes it could be even that genetic component. If maybe mom might have anxiety and not realizing that her child might as well, but his is manifesting in where he's using anger or the avoidance, where anxiety presents differently for every individual, but yet both individuals have anxiety. And so it's just working with them that it is not because of you. It is not your fault that your child has anxiety. Let's work on this together to help them so they can tackle those anxious thoughts.
Sure.
I think that, and I think it's one of the skills that I learned in my child welfare days, is just that ability to really engage with teenagers and get them to develop that trusting, safe relationship where they feel safe and supported. And some of that might be where, therapy with kids is different than adults. We might have to spend a couple sessions building that rapport, whether it's playing games. And sometimes I've had teenagers, and also with teens, they might be looking for a reaction. So they want to, they're testing me and wanting to see if I'm going to react if they say nothing in the session or might be snippy at first. But it's just continuing to maintain that calm, supportive environment. And it's amazing how quickly they will open up and become engaged. And, I have kids that when they first come in, they're very resistant, don't want to be there, want to stay with mom. And then a couple sessions later, they're like, okay, mom, please, there's the door. This is my time now. Or can you stop talking to Megan? It's my time. Yeah, I do virtual sessions. Typically, I like to tailor them for 12 and older, just because it can be more difficult for the younger ones to engage. But I also have done virtual sessions with some younger youth. And really, my treatment focus is the same. What I would do in the in-person than the virtual is just now we're using a screen. Like an example for one of my 10-year-old kiddos who's virtual, we do a feeling scavenger hunt. And I provide him a list, and I'll even time him. He's got to go find me something that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel calm. And then he brings it back and shows it to me. But he has to tell me about a time that he felt that way and how that brought him relief and so on. So I still use the same techniques because a lot of my techniques are cognitive behavioral therapy, but you can still use them in the virtual setting. And CBT with kids is different than adults. They need the metaphors and the visualization and how to put it into real life by using role plays and scenarios. And I've loved my time at Alliance because it goes beyond the therapy room. It's the team and the support that I have too has been amazing. And I think our clients even pick up on that.